G'day and good morning friends, Franny here and welcome to your Considered Body Recovery practice. I'm excited to share with you my AM activation routine. This combination of movements I believe have been key players in terms of the maintenance of the health of my low back as well as with injury prevention. So we're going to ignite and engage our core and our glutes. This is a perfect primer for your day regardless of what you're doing, as well as a good way to warm up before any kind of workout, whether that's yoga or whether that's lifting. So all you're going to need is a mat, if that, just some space on the floor will do. I do this in my pajamas. I do this with kids climbing all over me. So just work with what you've got. And we're going to start lying down on our bellies. So come on, meet me there. Bring your palms and forearms to stack and let your head rest on top. Zip up your legs together and long behind you, kind of like a snake. Just take a moment to settle, to wiggle, to shift from side to side and then find stillness. And just take 3 breaths in your own time, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Notice any points of tension. See if you can breathe into those places, inhaling fully and deeply. And then exhaling, releasing whatever might be lingering, whatever might be holding. One more breath, just to confirm that you've arrived in this time, in this space, committing to you and your body. And then exhaling, letting it go. We're going to start with some hip hikes to begin. So this movement is subtle. Just pay attention to what you're feeling and acknowledge the sensations that arise. You might feel some pops, you might feel some clicks. So start to lengthen your right leg and foot away. Your left hip will just stay as it is. It's kind of like a seesaw motion from a bird's eye view. And then bring your right hip back to neutral and then lengthen your left leg away. And then just move between the two. So right hip, right leg will reach a little further behind you. And then left leg will do the same. So here we're mobilizing our SI joint. That's the space around your sacrum. That's the bony part of your pelvis, the base of your spine. Extending one leg and then the other. So we're just going to keep moving through, but I would encourage you to take 10 to 20 reps in total, so 5 or 10 on each side based on how this feels. And if this lateral kind of motion isn't one that your body's familiar with, it might feel a little funky at first, but just imagine you're mobilizing and priming, supporting your body when it gets put in this position off the mat and out in your real life. Let's just take 2 more each side. And then when you're balanced left and right, just return to center. Maybe you shimmy your hips just a little from side to side, bringing your legs back together if they're separated. And we're just going to move through some pelvic tucks here with some pelvic floor engagement. So take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, think about lengthening your tailbone towards your heels and lifting your pelvic floor up, riding like an elevator along your spine. Inhale to release. Let your spine return to its neutral position. And then again, exhale, lengthen your tailbone towards your heel. You feel your pubic bone pull towards your navel and your pelvic floor lift up your spine. Notice if your shoulders are shrugging. Notice if there's tension in your jaw. See if you can let it go. And then use your inhale to release. We'll do 3 more. Again, this is subtle, but it is good, strong, deep work. Exhale to lengthen your tailbone, lift your pelvic floor, firm the space between pubic bone and navel. And then release. In your own time, exhale. It's almost like you're feeling your low abdomen pull away from the mat ever so slightly. Shoulders stay away from your ears. Take 1 more. There's not a lot to see if you're watching the screen. This is all about tuning in, feeling in, and release. Nice job. We're going to stay on our bellies for one more movement here. We have our cobra. So again, zip up your legs if they separated. Release your hand pillow from your forehead and then bring the heels of your hands in line with the base of your chest and pull your elbows in towards the sides of your body. The tip of your nose or your forehead might be resting on the ground. Now, even though the movement is in our upper back here, your low body is going to be active and engaged. So press down through the knuckles of your toes, flex your quads so your kneecaps lift a little, and your bum is flexed. It's not clenching, it's an engagement. So take a breath in, and then brace in the fullness of your breath. Press down through your feet. Squeeze your lower, your middle, your upper back muscles to lift your chest, lift your head. Try not to look up, but forward. Keep pulling your elbows in towards your side, minimal pressure through your hands. And then use your breath out to release and lower back down. And we'll keep rolling through. So inhale to prepare. Hold your breath. Use the bracing on that fullness to lift yourself up. Imagine your shoulder blades pulling down and towards your midline. And then use your exhale to release. Keep on going. Inhale. Hold and lift. Exhale, lower back down. So we're strengthening the erector spinae here, the muscles that run up, back, starting from the base all the way to your neck. Moving slowly with control here, feeling into the articulation. The tops of your feet are like an anchor. And then you're using that fullness of your breath, that brace. Imagine your body like a sail filling with air, getting that momentum to lift, and then slowly, gently, like a breeze releasing, lowering back down. Let's just take 3 more together. Squeezing your bottom, helping that to activate the muscles of your spine. Everything working in unison, working as a team. Nothing in isolation. Last one. Full breath in. Brace, hold, lift. Collarbones really broad. Gaze forward and down. And then exhale to release. Nice job. Press into your palms, come up onto your knees, and we'll find an all fours. So readjust, situate yourself, spread your fingers wide like webs, wrist creases just below your shoulder heads, and your kneecaps just below your hip sockets. And from here, we're going to do one side and then the other 2 movements, starting with a glute kickback. I always start on my left side because that is the side where I feel hip discomfort. That's where I can be my weaker side, I should say. So, starting with my left, you find what works for your body here. Shifting the weight onto the right shin, take a breath in, and then we've got a glute kickback. So pull your heel towards your bum cheek and then start to float your left leg or your working side. Kneecap reaching back, spine isn't changing position. So lower down as you inhale, and then exhale, squeeze and lift, bringing your thigh or your femur parallel to the ground. So your spine, it's not moving. Your low back, it's not arching. Your belly isn't dropping down towards the ground. Just keep moving through your repetitions with your breath. Feel your glute and your hamstring on your left side firing up. I like to move through about 8 to 10 repetitions here. Keep pulling your heel in towards your bum cheek. That'll get that little bit more hamstring. And know if you're working on your palms, if there's any discomfort in your wrists, you can bring this onto your forearms as well. Let's take 3 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Low belly firm. Collarbones wide. This is your last one. I'm going to stay on our left side. Keep that bend at your knee. We're going to find a fire hydrant. So start to laterally lift your femur bone out to the side. Again, pelvis, shoulders, spine, they're not changing position. And then with control, lower back down. So it's exhale breath. Take your knee out to the side. And then inhale as you lower. Again, 8 to 10 repetitions, moving in your own time. Rather than racing through, see if you can slow it down, in particular at the top, finding this little pause, emphasizing the contraction. Moving our hip laterally. Really supportive for stability and balance as we move through life. Finding an ease with your breath. Let's take 3 more. 2. Last one. Pause at the top. Linger, squeeze, you got it. And then lower down. Then we're just going to take that to the opposite side. Readjust your palms if you need. Pull your heel in towards your right side bum cheek. And let's go. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale, lift. Thigh comes parallel to the ground. Firm through your low belly. Press through your chest. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Noticing how it feels on this side. Sending your awareness to your bum, your glute max in particular, as well as your hamstring. Moving with your breath. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Doing these movements every day, it's just a great way to check in with your body and see where you're at. Let's take 3 more before we find our fire hydrant. 3, 2, last one. Keep that pull of heel towards your seat, taking your right thigh out laterally. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. Not letting your hips rotate, not letting one stack on top of the other, but thinking of your frontal hip points as headlights on a car and they're shining directly down towards the ground. Trying not to let the weight shift in between your hands too much. Keep rooting down firmly through left side and right. Not letting any movement or rotation come into your shoulder girdle. Let's take 3 more. 3. Pausing at the top if you can. It's not about coming high, it's about maintaining connection. Last one. Nice job. Lower your right knee down. Readjust your palms as you need. We're going to find a bird dog. Again, starting with our left leg extending to begin. So take a breath in to prepare. And then as you exhale, left leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Pelvis and shoulder girdle left and right. We're balanced and neutral side to side. Inhale as you lower back down. Let's do 5. Exhale to reach like you're pushing a heavy box through your heel, like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand, thumb to the ceiling. Inhale to lower. Exhale to extend. Firm through your low belly. Keep pushing the floor away through your left palm. Exhale to lower. Let's take 2 more. It's exhale to lift, inhale to lower. That's it. Last one, we're going to pause and just feel where you are in space. A body scan from your right fingertips down to your left toes. Just noticing where you are here and now. And then set your hand down, your knee down, little shimmy, little shake. And then we switch to the opposite side. Right leg extends, left arm reaches forward, gaze forward and down. Feel where you are in space. Inhale as you lower, palm and knee. And then exhale as you reach. Do it purposefully. Do it with intention. Not flopping, not slapping your limbs back down to the ground, but moving with control. And within that control, finding a sense of ease. We can find ease when we move with purpose because we know what we're doing and we know why we're doing it. There's a point. There's a point to all this. Let's take 1 more. Exhale to extend, reach, low belly firm, spine neutral. And then inhale to lower down. All right, let's fire up our core. Forearm plank. Bring your hands parallel like train tracks, or maybe you interlace your knuckles in this prayer-like position. Step your feet back and then put a soft bend in your knees. Really press down through your forearms, through the pinky edge of your finger, And then just like we did on our bellies, can you find that lengthening of your tailbone towards your heels and that scooping of your pubic bone towards your navel? The crown of your head, your shoulders, your hips and your heels are in one straight line. You're not locking out through your legs, but keeping a soft bend at the backs of your knees, even a soft bend at your ankles. Find this buoyancy. Breathing fully and deeply, feeling a 360-degree expansion of your belly, of your ribs. Let's take one more breath in together. Nice job. And then start to lower yourself down and roll onto your back. Now, this is the bonus round. If I'm about to go lift some weights, I will add on these 2 extra movements. So if you're done for now, then that's cool. You can pause and maybe just take a couple of breaths before you leave your mat or your space. But if you would like to add on, then stay with me. We've got 2 more movements. Take a breath in, knees are bent, knees are stacked over your feet, shoulders are wide, back of head is heavy. And let your breath flow as you adjust to this position. And we're gonna find a dead bug with a little bit of spinal flexion. So we're gonna find a crunch through our abdomen. Start to reach your arms in front of your chest, start to float your knees to tabletop, take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, pull your bottom ribs towards your frontal hips. We're gonna find a dead bug. If this is too much, just work flat on the ground. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, extend opposite arm, opposite leg, and then come back through center. Switching sides, exhale, reach, inhale, pull back in. Now you can find the flow of the breath that serves you best here. Again, we're working on stability, so minimizing any rocking or swaying from side to side. Really firing up through our rectus abdominal here, running from our front ribs down towards our pelvis. You might feel some trembling, a little bit of shaking and quaking through your core. That's a-okay, it's just a sign that you're working. I like to take about 10 reps each side, 20 in total. But you need to listen to your body and work to your edge. Let's take 2 more each side. Keep on breathing. Last one each side. Lift your shoulder blades up, up, up. Nice job. Whew. It always gets me, that one. Pull your knees towards your armpits. Roll your ankles as you rock from side to side. And then we're just going to finish off with some side plank clams. I love this movement, especially for the outer hip, some really solid external rotation work. Super functional just for moving about through your day, but in particular if you're about to add load as well. So stack your forearm, your elbow beneath your shoulder and lift your side body away from the ground. Bend your knees and then glue your heels together. So we're going to press down through the ground, lift our hips as we exhale, and then at the same time, open your top thigh, creating that diamond or that clamshell-like shape. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. So really firm down through what's touching the earth, and then what's lifting up, I want you to find this nice energy and engagement there. Opening your top hip, and then engaging your obliques as you push the ground away. I, again, like to do 10 to 20 reps each side based on how I'm feeling. And no, you can always add a circle band to this movement if you want a little bit more bang for your buck. Let's take 3 more together here. Exhale, lift up, open up. Without thrusting your hips forward, keep pulling your bottom rib cage in. Keep engaging through your lower abdomen. This is your last one. Nice job. And then you can just roll onto the other side. I'm gonna flip, elbow beneath your shoulder, forearm parallel to the top of your mat, hips stacked, knees stacked, ankles stacked. There's a bend in your legs and you're gonna keep your heels glued together. Before you even start to move, lift your obliques like you're hovering your rib cage away from the ground. You can extend your opposite arm up to the sky, or you can have your hand on your hip. Breathe in to prepare. And then exhale, press down into the ground. Squeeze your bottom on both sides. Open your top leg, lift on up. And then lower back down. Keep on going with your breath. It's my hope that you could practice this video a few times with me and then pick and choose. Do all the movements serve you? Or is there 2 or 3 that you can incorporate into your daily routine to help you move through life that little bit more connected, that little bit more engaged, and that little bit more confident in your strength? Your body has your back. Let's take 3 more together. Exhale, press down, lift up, rotate your top hip without letting your hips come out of alignment or thrusting them forward. Last 2. And last 1. Nice job. Swing your legs out in front of you. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Just finding a little butterfly, forward fold, rocking from side to side. And then restacking your spine, coming on up, giving your shoulders a little shrug, your head and your neck a little roll. I wish you all the very best with all of your pursuits today. Go get them, and I'll see you again soon.